I lifted a piece of soil the next morning and, well, I just froze. The ground beneath it was alive. Earthworms everywhere, thick, active, twisting through dark soil that had been hard and quiet just days before. No compost bin, no store-bought worms, no digging, just one simple soil trigger that flips a biological switch most gardeners never realize exists. This is not a gimmick. It is how soil has always worked before we, overcomplicated it. Why earthworms suddenly appear or disappear? Earthworms do not respond to food alone. They respond to moisture, microbial activity, and surface safety. Most gardens fail because soil stays exposed, dry on top, and biologically inactive. Worms stay deep or leave entirely. When you create the right surface signal, they rise fast. The single trigger worms cannot resist. Worms are drawn upward when soil becomes cool, damp, and biologically rich at the surface. Now, the trick here is not about burying waste or just adding compost. It's really about creating a thin biological blanket that, feeds microbes first. You see, microbes wake up before worms do, and then worms follow these microbial explosions. So, here's the overnight earthworm activation method. First, start by lightly watering the soil in the evening. Not soaking, mind you, just enough to dampen the top layer. Then immediately cover the soil with plain cardboard or thick newspaper. Just make sure there's no glossy coating. Lay it flat, overlapping the edges, so, no soil is exposed. Next, you'll want to water again, just enough to soften the cardboard until it hugs the soil surface. This traps moisture, blocks light, and, creates a cool zone microbes absolutely love. To accelerate the effect, you just need to apply one simple liquid before covering the soil. Mix 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses into 5 litres of water. Give it a good stir until it's fully dissolved. Then water the soil evenly, and after that place the cardboard on top. This feeds existing microbes instantly. As these microbes multiply, worms detect food and, they move upward. By morning, the soil beneath becomes an earthworm gathering point. Why is it that no compost bin is needed? Well, compost bins work by slowly building biology in isolation. But this method activates what already exists in the soil. Earthworms are almost always present somewhere underground, They just need a reason to surface. You're not importing life. You're inviting it back. So, what happens under the cardboard? Well, microbial populations explode within hours. Fungi begin breaking down carbon from the cardboard, and bacteria multiply in the moist zone. This creates warmth without heat, which worms seek instinctively. The cardboard also blocks predators and light, making the surface safe. Now, you might be wondering why this works faster than just adding your food scraps directly to the soil. Well, when you bury kitchen scraps, it often creates anaerobic conditions, and honestly can attract all sorts of pests. With this method, decomposition stays aerobic and much more controlled, which is just what we want. Interestingly, worms actually feed on microbes rather than on the raw waste itself. That's exactly why the response you get with this method is both clean and, remarkably fast. So, how long should you leave the cardboard in place? Typically, you want to leave it down for about 3 to 7 days. If your soil is quite compacted, it's best to leave it even longer. But in soil that's already active, you might see results after just one night. Once lifted, the soil beneath will be darker, looser, and filled with tunnels. turning earthworms into permanent residents. After removing the cardboard, immediately cover the soil with organic matter like chopped leaves, straw, or cut green plants. This maintains the habitat worms now recognise as safe. Repeat the molasses drench once per month at the same dilution if soil remains lifeless. Otherwise, stop. Overfeeding microbes can unbalance the system. Now, here's something many gardeners often get wrong about worms. Worms, you see, really do not want disturbance. Digging, tilling, and all that constant turning of the soil, well, it actually destroys their tunnels. Once worms arrive in your garden, it's best to protect their environment, and honestly, they'll multiply naturally. Healthy worm populations, believe it or not, maintain soil better than any tool you could use. So, why do plants respond almost immediately? Well, worm tunnels improve oxygen flow in the soil, and their castings deliver nutrients in a form that's ready for plants to use. So, you see, roots tend to follow worm pathways quite naturally. This means that even before you notice any visible growth, plants are already experiencing less stress. And well, that's exactly why gardens with worms always appear so calm and vigorous. Now, where does this little trick work best? Raised beds, for one, respond the fastest. Clay soils, in particular, benefit the most, while sandy soils, well, they gain structure rather quickly too. Containers also work if drainage is adequate and cardboard is trimmed to size. This is not climate-dependent. Biology works everywhere, you know. Now, the biggest mistake to avoid, really, is using glossy cardboard or any printed material with heavy ink. And another thing, do not flood the soil. Moisture, you see, attracts worms. But, well, too much saturation actually drives them away. So, keep it simple and restrained, just the right balance. Here's how you know when the system is active. The soil smells earthy, not sour. Worms will appear near the surface after a good rain. Water absorbs into the ground, rather than pooling on top. And plants, well, they hold their colour longer between feedings. That, my friends, is living soil. If this has shown you just how easy soil regeneration really is, do consider subscribing to Nature's Blueprint. Share this with a gardener who's still buying compost and worms, and let's help restore gardens the way nature intended.